Hello, long time no see. It's natural Jules time.
He's one mellow ass, healthy ass, respectable, chauvinistic, pacifistic son of a bitch.
And welcome to Seitseminen National Park once again, but this time during the winter time. Would you just look at it? But I'm just gonna ski around in here. It's nearly the surface of the snow holds me up, so it's rather easy going. Just gonna enjoy this crisp morning and glorious sunshine and silence. So this is not gonna be a very long entry, I suppose, because I'm just so tired of achieving constantly in my life. Just gonna ski around, look for beautiful places, enjoy the silence. And as you can see from my beard now, it's rather chilly. I have plenty of warm clothing. And of course, I do have a map and a compass with me. So if I wander off into the areas unknown, I can always check the map, take the bearing, and head back to the car. So there's no chance of me getting lost, even if I want to. And obviously the snow, the tracks stay on the snow right now because there's no chance of new snow coming out from the sky. Look at this glorious pine here. Utterly brilliant. But anyway, if you come to any sort of wilderness areas, more isolated parts in the world, always keep a map and a compass with you, because you might never know, especially in the Lapland, in the mountains, the weather may change in an instant, rapidly. So if you get caught in a blizzard, you won't be able to find your tracks back. Keep that in mind, obviously, all the time. Always keep good gear on, plenty of warm clothing, plenty of water, some tinder, some matches in a waterproof bag so they won't get wet. And obviously first aid kit and a map and a compass. Pro tips for you. But anyway. Now this is the exact spot where I was talking to you last summer episode, on that very bench. It's glorious. Look how different it looks. And the silence is utterly finger-tingly good. Now this is a restricted area. This is the last day of March, and the restriction starts tomorrow. But I'm gonna honor it. I'm not gonna ski in there. The restriction is basically for birds. They come to nest, so they have a quiet time of nesting in swampy pits. There's no chance of those birds being there right now because there's so much snow still. But still I'm gonna honor it, and so should you. So always check those restrictions. Especially here in Seitseminen National Park, there are these swampy areas which have been restricted certain times of the year, and then there are those forest areas which have never been cut down, which are in a natural state. They are restricted all the time, so you can only travel in the marked trails in there, and that applies in winter time as well. Don't ski there, even if you might think that there's no trouble. Let's just honor it, because if someone doesn't, then someone else doesn't, then it multiplies all over. Just always follow the restrictions. They are not there for your annoyance, they are there to protect the very fragile and very, very delicate and very important nature. You can just enjoy this like this as well. No troubles, I'm gonna head back into the foresty bits. Hare. Arctic hare, I suppose. Now then, here's a sight you won't see very often nowadays. Sadly rare. It is markings of a forest fire. This is of course man-made forest fire here. You listen to those trees crackle in the frost because there's no bark or living matter to protect the water itself, so they freeze up and then start to crack. Now this is obviously a man-made, like I said, man-made clearance, because we start to realize the importance of burnt down trees, importance of fire in the cycle of the forest, living cycles. And we are adding them purposely because we don't let it happen naturally, which is a shame. We should. Bit apocalyptic as well. But there's a couple of pines there, larger ones, which have survived this forest fire. There are still needles in them, so they will keep on growing and eventually becomes the matriarchs of this area. They will spread their seeds on the soil, and those seeds, and indeed the seed bank which is already in the soil itself, will eventually spring out, create a new forest here. More glorious than the previous one, because there's ash, and there is burned out trees, there's coal, there's nutrients, all the right things. It has been torched from the harmful bacteria, harmful fungi. It is glorious. Now here's a little thingy. I was going to go to there's the old water mill, which I showed you in the summer episode as well. I'm sure you remember it, because all of you have obviously watched it many times over. But anyway, just checking my bearing, and it seems I've been traveling too much to the west, northwest. Should be going north, which is there somewhere. I have the compass here. And the thing about this, if you have got much iron with if you got a backpack which have got the iron or aluminum, however you should pronounce it, poles in it, or tent which have got metal or something, or even this camera, check it out. I put this close here, and lo and behold, south needle goes directly to the camera. This has got magnetic field in it, so it will disturb you somewhat. So always keep it far from any sort of magnetic fields that you generate yourself. You should be okay. There's another one of those areas a bit further north. Some feisty tits. brilliant thing about tits. In winter times they gather into flocks. They've got great tits, blue tits and willow tits and crested tits, and, and then there are those tiny things which roll up in the side of the trunk, which have got curly peaks. I don't remember its name. Tree creeper, Eurasian tree creeper. That's the one that I was looking for. And gold crests as well, has been known to use the flocks, packs of tits to survive through the winter. Then they form a pack, and they can do this because all the different species use different sections of the wood as they climb up and down and its branches. They hide spiders and insects in the summertime in the lichens and branches and needles and whatnot. Then they gather it in the winter, harsh winter months from the different parts. Then the cold winter nights they gather in the sort of like, what do you call it, clusters in the tree, branches of the tree, so they minimize the surface area which is attached to the cold air outside. And then the great tits, for example, you can tell the male and female tits apart from the width of the black belt that has got coming down its chest, into its belly and into its back, and the male, the cock, has got wider black belt and the female has got narrower belt. There's a strict pecking order in the back of great tits, for example, and it shows white bits on their cheeks. The more worn out it is, the lesser cock it is. It goes, say, females, I suppose, as well. But anyway, that's enough about tits. Obviously, one wants not to break a branch in here, but sometimes it's mere impossibility. Just try to find a way through without disturbing the branches and lichens and snow. Respect everything. Lo and behold, there was light. Small pond here, I'm going to cross it to have some lunch. You can start to feel the power of the sun here. The snow, the surface of the snow is starting to melt a bit. There's quite a lot of water in it. It gets stuck into the bottom of my skis. Bit jerky the going, but it is utterly gorgeous. Just what the doctor ordered. Funny thing about human mind is that when you are in unfamiliar surroundings, you start to lose your sense of direction. You sort of go around every obstacle from the same side. And the great chances are that you are going to go around in circles. Now there is very little possibility of that because the sun is so clearly visible. You can maintain course rather easily, but if there's a strong cloud coverage or in the night time and you are unfamiliar with the star systems, you might easily get lost and indeed go around in circles. And especially in winter times it is properly dangerous. Keep a compass with you and a map. Guess what? Yesterday I bought some vegetable sausages for me this journey. So I could build a fire, and cook them there and enjoy myself. Have a hazard guess where those sausages are now. Yes, they are not in here. So, but I do have a sandwich. So let's enjoy that here. This brilliant scenery. Now it is truly heavy going because the snow is so melted on the surface, so it sticks underneath my skis because I didn't tar them. Because I didn't really think I was going to ski this winter, but always tar your skis. Wooden ones, that is. Plastic ones don't matter. Plastic is rubbish anyway. It's wood or nothing. And they are as infinite as plastic ones, really, because if you just tar them and keep them in condition, they are very good, very good skis. My old tracks now, once again at the restricted area, so I have to stick with this path. Not for my sake, but for everyone who has actually got to live in here. Actually, who can live in here. Imagine it. Glorious. And that's pretty much that. Seitseminen National Park. Always worth a visit. Always. Would have been fun to stay over the night, sleeping back in a lean-to or in a hammock even. But unfortunately I have to work tomorrow, so bad luck there. Anyway, thank you very much for joining in and see you soon. Nature Jules out. Peace and love. Natural Jules out, not Nature Jules. Man. Wintertime obviously is rather quiet on the animal front, but here you can see in the snow you can see all kinds of tracks, and there is tracks of a moose. It's hard to be certain here, except here you can see clearly. What has made it? So no arguments. It's either moose or Finnish forest reindeer. There are plentiful in this area. And no trip to Seitseminen National Park is complete without visiting the heart of it. It is Multiharju Old Forest area. Utterly brilliant place. And the track is suitable for walking, even in winter times, it seems. Lucky strike. But here we can end this on these gorgeous, gorgeous views. And by the way, this Multiharju Old Forest area is a highly restricted area, so don't wander off the marked trails. Ever. No reason to wander off. There is one nature path in here, couple of paths in and out. That is it. It's preserved for nature, not for you to mess about. Stay on a track.